Hi guys, so this video is going to be a longer one. I'm going to cut it in like two parts. In the first part of the video, I'm going to talk about items that you should be looking into when you have the spare currency. And second is going to be how to manage your currency the first week of the league. Now, I want to say two things. Now, number one, if you are a person who hits red maps the first day, this video is not for you. Second of all, if you watch this video around 2 weeks after league started, this video is practically useless for you as well, and I would just recommend you to invest in the long term, not short term, because we are talking on the short term investment right now. Now let's get into it. So I'm going to talk about only currencies. The reason being is uniques are so unpredictable that it's crazy. Now you could argue that you could buy some different kind of uniques, grab them, and then make a profit. I want to talk about currencies purely because that is kind of safe bet, right? Okay, so we're gonna talk about first Orb of Alteration. It's a holy grail of doubling your money first 2 days of the league. Now reason being is because this item is supplied by bots. I don't know what they do, but they supply it in crazy quantities first day, maybe 2 days of the league. So those alterations are on average 22 to 25 alterations per 1C, which is crazy, right? If you especially check it right now, they're around 4.5 per 1C. Now we're not going to hold them for 3 months, but we're only going to be holding them for 2 days, maybe 3 days stop. Now it's worth buying them until they hit like 17 or 16 for 1C, and then usually what I do is I buy my gear first session. I usually do a long session at the beginning, go to sleep, I wake up and I check the alterations. If the alterations are still around 17 per 1C, I still buy them mid my second session, and when I go sleep again and I wake up let's say the third day, they usually are around 11 to 12 per C. At that point, you more than doubled most of your currency that you invested in it. Now, this item is for everyone. It doesn't matter if you made 3C that night or if you made 100, right? You can still double the currency you put in. Now, let's say, you doubled your money. It's usually I am on EU, so I start playing Friday evening. I have a session, I wake up, I have a session, and I wake up and it's Sunday. So at this point, usually I look for 2 items. Now, number one is Orb of Dominance. Usually I look into this item mainly if I'm the person who crafts myself, right? So for example, I want to go and I want to craft double elevated helm or double elevated boots or whatever. So this item, if you can buy at let's say Sunday morning before the reset, usually around 50 to 60 C, and all you have to do is sit on it for 2 to 3 days and they double in money again. But as I said, this is a safe bet for people who craft. So for example, you could argue that what if there's a crazy thing and people don't craft for a long time because this league there's a new way to craft items and you don't need that many Orb of Dominance. You can never go wrong because then eventually you're gonna craft your helmet and you're gonna craft the Orb of Dominance that you used. So that's why it's a safe bet. Now, another thing that is holy grail is Enlightened. Now, I cannot stress enough on how important it is to buy this item uncorrupted. Now, we're talking day 3 again, Sunday morning, so it's around 100 C. Let's say even 130. You either can decide to gem cut or prison them and level them up to level 3 and then sell them uncorrupted, or you can just throw them in your storage. It's up to you. If you want to level them up to level 3, it's going to take a fair amount of time. Now, you could be like, oh wow, look at that. You could sell them for 400 C. Now, although I bought 2 of them, I sold them for 280 or 290. I didn't expect they would go up so much. Reason being is because in POB they nerfed the manual reservation efficiency, right? So not many people all of a sudden realized, oh shit, all of a sudden I cannot put in my extra aura, so they had to get Enlighten. So I wouldn't expect this happen with Enlightens this league either. However, it would be a safe bet to say that if you hold it for 3 days, 3 to 4 days, it's not 320, but let's say it's 240, and you doubled your money yet again. So this is kind of good item to invest it in. Now this is only item that I would invest, considered investing. Unique items are all over the place. It depends on the builds that people are playing, right? It depends on if it's a bossing league or if it's a mapping league. There's so much stuff that can influence it that it's just crazy. So we said we are buying this day 3 and we hold this for another 3 days. So we are 1 week into the league. Now at this point, I would start recommending to look into the big boy items. You can never go wrong with them. And at this point, the league is kind of figured out, right? For example, if you know Grimrow, if there is a certain way to farm currency with the new mechanic, you know about it and you know the prices of the items, so you know what is kind of safe to invest in. Now it's for people, for example, who don't go for Mageblood, right? For example, I'm going for Mageblood, so I'm not going to do same investment that I was talking about, but yeah, that is pretty much it. Now we're going to go into the game. Okay, so now we are in the game. So if you are farming like day 1 and 2 red maps comfortably, juiced up with Delirium Orbs, probably not for you, but for the rest. You're gonna start in here in the corner. Now when it comes to chisels, definitely sell them. You can sell them like 3 for 1C at the beginning, then it goes to like 4 to 1, but it's still worth selling. Now you could argue, I'm in the yellow maps and my sustain is horrendous. Now we are week and a half before the league starts, so I don't know what's the Atlas tree, but it should look similar to one that we have right now. And if you follow someone's guide and it doesn't involve, let's say, these points here, or both of them, or this thing here, the Atlas tree is shit, okay? Just to say it bluntly, I'm a Delver, and I do go for example, I did this league get beeline, missions here. I went for the Sulfite, but instead of going for the second Sulfite straight away, I picked up the maps anyway. So even for someone who hits red maps 1 week in just because he can't be bothered to farm red maps, I pick up these nodes. So I think maybe I picked up both of them, I'm not exactly sure. So yeah, that's that. So we sell chisels. Now gym cutters, we spoke about it. If you decide to level up Enlightens, keep. If not, sell. Bubbles, sell. Now the Veiled Chaos Orb, that thing kind of barely fluctuates, so if you drop one, just hold it for a little bit. They eventually are like almost same price as like Exalt, so let's ignore that for now. Chaos, we explained it. Orb of Alchemies, sell. Now, oh, but what if I'm in the yellow maps? I need to alch my maps. No, you don't. Okay, it's day 2, and those suckers cost 2 for 1C. If you drop 80 of them, you can make 40C, and then for 30, you can buy same amount of Orbs of Binding that do pretty much the same thing as Orb of Alchemy, right? People still don't know that you can use them on maps, and then you have extra 10C to do whatever you want with it. So, sell. When it comes to Regal Orbs, that one is hard to say. I usually ignore this currency because that one fluctuates so much that it's hard to predict. I can't unfortunately tell you the prices. Now, if you're a Delver, you're gonna have a bunch of these, right? And they stay on 3C for like first 3 days. You can make bang out of it, so that's why we stay in the yellow maps. We don't care about red ones, and we sell those. If you're a normal player, you don't get that many of them, but it would be ideal to sell them. Awakened Sexton, self-explanatory, you need to sell them. Now, when it comes to Orb of Regret, that one is kind of interesting because it starts around 1C, then it drops, and then it slowly go up. So what you do, you just post it for 1C price and then just leave it. Maybe it's gonna stay there for 2 to 3 days, but eventually it will sell. Definitely. Sometimes it goes even higher if the leak is, you know, like weird when there's like new passive skill trees and stuff like that. But yeah, Herb of Unmaking. If you have a decent Atlas starting Atlas tree, you don't use them at all, so sell. When it comes to Orb of Scouring, those are kind of weird because they eventually get, you know, like half a C, but you know, another item that fluctuates weirdly. Val Orbs definitely sell. The first 3-4 days I just immediately sell. I sell them in bulk. I never, you know, sell, you know, 2 for 1. I usually say like 20 for 10 to save time, right? You know, rogue markers, self-explanatory, sell them if you don't do heist. When it comes to Orbital Binding, we use them. When it comes to these, definitely sell them. They are very expensive at the beginning of the leak. Now we go to Chiller Orbs, Orbs of Fusing, and Chromatics Orbs. Now these 3 items are like only items that are like set up like day 2, and then they don't change in price at all. Maybe they change, let's say 120 for 1C to 114 to 1C. Now I'm over exaggerating, but like the change is so insignificant that we keep them. Now what you do with them instead is usually, for example, day 1 and 2 is how to get unique items, 5 to 6 links. For example, if you play Bane, let's say, yeah, you buy your Triumph for 10C with, let's say, now like nice rolls, nice life, but it's not 6 links. So usually what you do, you just come to a crafting bench and you put 5 sockets and 5 links. Now this is corrupted, so you use Val Orbs as well. Don't right? Don't use it uncorrupted, but uncorrupted, you go in, you do 5 link, 5 socket, 5, and usually you spend like 10 to 20 C worth of jeweler orbs and links, and you get, let's say, 70 C chest piece out of it. I think I was using it for like 2 to 3 days, and then I sold it for the price I made it, and you know, meanwhile I made enough currency to, you know, buy a new chest piece. Oh, I forgot divines. I guess the best for last. So when it comes to divines, invest it in your character. That's one thing that I believe that it's best to do, because I assume that, you know, you put some money aside for your 6ling, but if you find like amazing 6ling that you would keep for a week, let's say, or even longer, it's a good thing to invest it in divine. Build enabling uniques. You have, for example, boots for righteous fire that cost around divine. You have a helmet that drops from Awakener that enables another build, for example, like Bane. It's good to invest it in those items to make your character stronger, to make more currency, so you can make best turnovers. So I guess that's pretty much it. And now my sponsor. Hi, this video was brought to you by my Twitch channel. As you can see, you could be one of the first 100 people that follow my Twitch. I know, crazy. I'm going to be streaming when the new league will come out, quite a lot. So come and join. If you're still not sure if you should come and watch, here's a couple of my Twitch followers, and you can listen to their opinions.
Wow, this Twitch channel is so cool. 2 thumbs up, very nice.
Wow, following was the best choice that I've ever made in my life. Can I go now?
Let's do it one more time.
Oh.